On this month's Second Week Cinema, we tell you 10 things about coronavirus.
Charlie convinces you why you need to eat laboratory meat.
We reflect on our experience playing D&D.
And our review of Netflix's Horse Girl. All coming up on the Segway Podcast. Hey, welcome to the Segway.
The best thing that happened to you on a Thursday.
That's right, recording live again in both Cleveland and Akron. Well, I'm not in Akron. I'm in North Canton. You're not even in Cleveland.
No, just outside of Cleveland. I tried to look at you in the eye when you did that count-in. Did it make it more awkward, or?
I feel like our connection's gotten worse since last time. It's a little bit laggier.
It's probably you.
For how much I'm paying, it better not be me. So, I want to give a couple shout-outs. 3 shout-outs really quick for this intro for me. One, I want to give Ghost Type Alex a shout-out. One, he started a new Let's Play. We posted about it. I don't know if we mentioned it on here last week, but he's playing Outlast 2. And I am a sucker for horror video games. But that's like one of those scary games that I have no intention of ever playing. Like, it's one of those just run or hide, that's it. So I really appreciate that he's giving me a vessel to watch this game through.
It's fun to watch.
And he's really entertaining. It is absolutely fun to watch. So make sure you go check out Ghost Type Alex. 2, Virtual Shows Akron. On the day we are recording this, we are doing our Instagram takeover. We are absolutely blasting that. So I apologize if you have to delete any of those things. We'd appreciate if you didn't, but we did kind of go full on blast. So on Monday, for when you guys are listening to this, we did a takeover. So go check out Virtual Shows Akron and see our posts and give them a follow. Because there's going to be, I think every day is going to be a different Instagram takeover, different artists in the area. And 3, I want to give Onward a shout out. Remember that movie we watched, Onward?
I don't think Disney needs a shout out, but go ahead.
No, I'm not giving Disney a shout out. I'm giving specifically Onward a shout out. Because I think it ages well. And that sounds silly because it was literally the last movie we watched last month. But I was able to watch it again and I was equally entertained and I liked it just as much because you can already stream it for free on Disney Plus. And it absolutely destroys Frozen 2. Like it takes Frozen 2 and gives it the stone cold. You didn't even like Frozen 2. You thought the beginning was bullshit. Well,
maybe I need to watch both of them again.
Onward absolutely DDTs. It's a WrestleMania time.
Okay, I thought it was a wrestling move.
He DDTs. Well, it DDTs. That Brotherhood story DDTs Frozen 2. So Onward withstands the test of time by at least 1 month.
Wow. What a statement.
Those are my shout-outs.
Well, I don't have any shout-outs. Nope. So today, the only thing that's really happened to me like this week, this was today. Matt came over. He didn't come by like inside. He came inside. He came to my house.
He was like standing outside your window.
Well, I dropped food on my car like a drug drop box situation, and he like took it and left.
Okay.
Like we had like the same like put the food in the spot. He got the food from the spot and left.
Are you feeding Matt? Is he your pet now?
No, you gotta make sure you feed him.
I give Annie walks late at night. If you want to go walking with Matt, and we can do a double team walk.
No, I had some extra macaroni and cheese, and I made it like a whole lot of it. So I just gave him like a casserole pie worth.
Very nice. How's he doing?
In quarantine with his family.
Gotcha.
He's got lots of siblings, so.
The relation of the podcast, again, Matt is the one that does portion size on cinematography. That's Matt. So we like to make sure he's doing well. We already got what we needed out of him with the recordings, but we're glad he's doing well. Do you have anything else, intro?
That's all that's fucking happened to me, Tyler.
Okay. Oh, no. Okay, we'll cut it there. Boom. Boom, boom. Da.
This segment is one that we like to do to inform people about stuff. Like last time we did Tsunami Awareness Week. Is that right?
Yeah, and then the first time was 2020, just in general. Who knew at that time? Not us.
No one knew anything. Terrible is gonna fucking happen. It's fine.
I bet there's gonna be a bunch of things that we listed that would happen in 2020 that absolutely are not. We already know a couple.
I know the Olympics aren't fucking happening. Do you know how bummed I was? Anyway, this segment is 10 things about, and so we decided to do 10 things about the coronavirus because it's topical and fuck it, why not?
That's accurate.
Let me start this off, if you don't mind.
Wait, can I just say this really quick?
Sure.
I always do this to you, but I'm sorry, this is too good. So we just got a tweet. I believe it's Logan. Logan just said, one of my goals for this year post-quarantine is to actually get another short film or creative endeavor done, just so I can have a reason to be on the Segway podcast. Logan, we absolutely love you, but yes, get that shit done.
Oh my god, that'd be so fun. That's so fun.
We'll both be in it, too. That'll make us extra promoted.
I would love to be in something. All right.
Yep.
Anyway, back to the show. The first thing I want to point out about the coronavirus, I saw this come across the news today. I was like, I'm sure Tyler doesn't have this. Cell towers are being set on fire in the United Kingdom because they're linked to false reports about 5G causing the virus.
I've heard some conspiracy theories about the whole 5G thing. Man, have you ever heard something from a friend that seems like you should be able to say it, but at the same time you don't know if you should be able to say it? Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying?
What do you need to tell me, Tyler?
Okay, he knows who he is if he's listening, but somebody told me that a school was shut down, but there were people at the school, and so somebody was calling and was like, hey, what's going on at the school? And they kept like dodging the question, but when the guy said, are they putting 5G in there? The person just hung up the phone on him.
Get out of here.
Hey, isn't that just like cell? Like, I know one of the clients I work for does payment processing, and they are getting rid of their 3G, which they're kind of freaking out about products. Isn't it just kind of like that? Like the next level? Like we had 4G, and now it's 5G.
Yes,
but
it's cell service.
If it's higher and more intense, I could see how maybe you might have health issues. You know what I mean? Like people don't like sleeping next to their phone. Some people don't like having Alexas in their house. Some people don't like using a microwave. You know what I mean? You know what I mean.
I guess. I mean, I didn't have a microwave for a long time, but that wasn't because I didn't like it. It was just because I didn't want to set the thing up.
I heard that you're not supposed to stand in front of the microwave when you're cooking stuff, but if that's true, I'm probably fucked anyway, so.
No, I stand in front of it and go, yeah, cook.
That's right. Get those electrolytes bouncing. Not electrolytes, electrons. I gotta fact check me in the moment. That's that electrolyte drink. That's what Usain Bolt is doing. He's got a microwave taped around his stomach.
Oh my god.
So this is kind of I don't think you have this one. This is very intricate.
Okay, probably not.
Coronavirus symptoms include fever, coughing, and shortness of breath.
My mind is blown, dude.
You're frozen and you're smiling, but I can't tell if you're mocking me or if our connection is.
I'm definitely mocking you, yeah.
Okay,
I want to tell you this one. Number 3. A pangolin is a small mammal with scales in the Mandia family and not a small penguin. And do you know why that relates to coronavirus?
How?
Because that's where the virus came from, was the pangolin. That's the animal that transferred the coronavirus.
I thought it was a bat.
No, it was a pangolin.
A penguin?
Pangolin. It is not a penguin.
Is it like a bat?
No, it's not. It's kind of like a scaly anteater.
Okay. And so how, what did that do to somebody eat it? Or like?
That's part of my next fact.
Okay. I'll get this out of the way then. The people that are most vulnerable are older folks and people with pre-existing conditions such as asthma, diabetes, and heart disease.
Yours are boring. You're boring today.
I'm being factual and you're being interesting.
No, I'm being factual too. I'm not lying about this stuff. Number 5. The coronavirus, COVID-19, likely came from a wet market in Wuhan, China. And a wet market is a place where they store live animals for slaughter at the market. And because of the animals are stored in a way that's like vertical, bodily fluids have dripped down onto each other. They kill the animals on the bottom, and that's how it came about.
Yeah, apparently that is a very accurate term, wet market.
Yes.
But it's becoming like negative. It has a negative connotation. Like in the Western world, like in the United States, when we say wet market, it has like that. I'm trying to think of an analogy to compare it to. It's like, it's not a bad word, but it's becoming a bad word because of our association with it.
Okay.
I mean, personally, based on my beliefs, I don't like the idea of a wet market. But it's almost like making them look primal, or it's making, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like the Western market is using this term, this derogatory term, to make them look worse. But that is the term. Yes. That's just the way, but like, this is the way it's brought out. Even though they've been using that term forever, this is where it's coming to our light. So that's a shame.
It's your turn. It's your turn.
So this is number 6.
Yes.
So this is interesting, and I don't know how I feel about it. So now reports are coming out and saying, hey, do you remember having a really, really, really bad cough or fever back in December or January? You might have had coronavirus. I don't know how
crazy. Do you know?
Isn't it?
Do you remember Matt had that crazy cough in January?
Yes. I also was really, really, really sick at the end of December and January, but it was not a fever, so I definitely don't think I had it. I just remember I had a sore throat for like 3 weeks.
Wow.
Which could have just been a sore throat.
It could have.
I don't think I had the coronavirus.
You probably
But
didn't.
I think it's interesting how it's like it's something everybody's afraid to get, but now you can like retrospectively look back and be like, did I have it? But it's not. I don't think it's like chickenpox. I don't think you get it once and you're like, oh, I'm good now. I'm gonna go to the park. And
no, you can get the flu multiple times. It's not the flu, but I'm just saying you could do that at 2.
If you want to.
Number 7. You can get the coronavirus and recover. It's not something you have for a lifetime. Which, when this whole thing started, I was so fucking petrified because I was like, I don't know what happens. Do you get it forever? Am I always going to be in bed going, COVID,
You know, there were people that were saying that it does last forever. Like, when it was first coming out, people were like, this is the forever lasting, flu. Like, you'll have the symptoms forever. And that's just...
It's not true.
Not true.
It's not true.
All right, so number 8, is that correct?
Yes, number 8.
All right, so does social distancing work, and what do they mean by flatten the curve? 1, yes, social distancing does work. What is the purpose? Because so many people are like, I'm young, I'm healthy, I have a great immune system, why do I have to social distance? Well, Mr. Narcissist Egocentric, it's not about you. The whole idea is that you are social distancing so that you don't give it to somebody who has a compromised immune system or is older or has one of the pre-existing conditions that I mentioned earlier. So that's why social distancing works. So when they're talking about flatten the curve, what are they talking about? So if you, there's a graph going around, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. If you look at the amount of people that are going to get the coronavirus, if it happens all at once, our healthcare services cannot, we don't have enough people or supplies to be able to safely and accurately help everybody that needs assistance. Where if we flatten the curve through social distancing, 1, less people in general might get it, and that's the ultimate goal. But 2, even if the same exact amount of people get it over a stretched period of time, that gives healthcare workers and physicians more time to get, to be able to give people the care they need and longer time to get supplies. So when people are talking about flattening the curve, that's what they're talking about.
Tell you what, I wish I could flatten my curves. Haha.
Oh, that's a good time to make that. Yep.
Number 9. Drinking alcohol definitely does not protect you from coronavirus. The WHO... No, it doesn't, actually. WHO, the World Health Organization, had to put that on their, facts list. So, I don't know who thought that, but it definitely doesn't help you.
You know what else the WHO said for number 10?
What's that?
They said that people were worried about ordering packages overseas. Because, now there's we have people calling it the Chinese virus or the China virus. So, as dumb as that is, there are people that are skeptical about ordering things overseas. And the WHO came out and said, don't worry about it. Because in transit, products, they reach so many different temperatures. There's basically no way that the virus could withstand all of that travel and temperature change. So you can still order your Amazon or wherever packages overseas. I don't think Amazon comes overseas.
Wish
I think
does.
It comes from... Does it?
Wish is all from China.
Well, that's why Amazon's great and Wish is trash. But I guess that makes it sound like China's bad. I'm not saying China's bad. I'm saying Wish is bad. I also want to give a rip to Brandly. That was one of the forever ago when we talked about our favorite online stores.
Yes.
Sorry, not Brandly.
Brandless.
I'm thinking. Yes, Brandless. Brandless is dead.
Oh, sad.
But they offered too good of products for too cheap, and now they're donezo. What are you gonna do? So that is 10 things about the coronavirus, and there are 9,600 deaths in the U.S. That's a fact.
Oh, okay. What a way to end that. Okay.
Yep. All right, guys. We're bringing back the fun improv segment that is known as sponsorship. The way this game works is we each think up 2 either real or fake companies, products, whatever you want to call it. The other person has no idea what products, ideas we came up with. And we give them the item product, and on the spot right now, no editing, they've come up with about a 30-second spot promoting the item as if we had real sponsorships on this podcast, which we do not.
I just hope I'm better after spending that time with Sarah. So we'll see what happens. This
You're
is on
putting
her now.
You're putting this on her?
Yeah, so we'll see how I do.
That's putting pressure on me. I feel like I'm not in an improv state of mind, but maybe that makes me a little bit more on edge.
It might make you more uncomfortable.
Do they necessarily have to be funny, or can they just be clever?
No, they should probably be funny.
Okay. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready for your first sponsorship?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Have you heard of? I don't know if it's called Clean Meat or Smart Meat. Our sponsor is called Smart Meat. It's basically that meat that they create in a lab by using cells from muscles of animals, and then they regenerate it into a tyrant from Resident Evil, and then we eat it.
Okay, so you're sitting down and you think to yourself, where did this meat come from? Did it come from a cow, a pig, a chicken, a turkey? You know what? They're all wrong. They came from Smart Meat, which is genetically modified meat to grow by itself to not feel pain. Isn't that awesome? You don't have to feel like a piece of shit every time you take a bite of a steak. Or if you're a vegetarian, maybe you can change your mind. Probably not, because you're weak. But anyway, next time you're thinking about some meat, be smart. Try Smart Meat.
Yeah, that's good. Good stuff. Oh, edit.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Edit.
Edit. Wait, do I do the edit or do you do the edit?
You do the edit on me.
Okay. So then you would do the edit on me.
Yes.
All right.
All right. You ready to give it a shot? I didn't see if you laughed at all because I could not look at you.
I turned away. Yeah. Actually, maybe I shouldn't look at you. I'm going to minimize your screen.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not even going to look at you, you piece of shit.
Okay. Are you ready?
Always.
All right. Giant Eagle has approached you to sponsor their homemade peanut butter.
Okay. And that's all you're giving me?
Yep.
Hey, all you shoppers of Big Bird. Are you excited to come in and get some of our great deals? Well, this week, we have our Giant Eagle brand peanut butter. How often does this happen to you? You have a kid's party, everybody's coming over, everybody's eating, and they eat all of your peanut butter. Isn't that the worst thing that could happen to you? Don't you want your peanut butter to last months and months? Well, we have great news for you. Here at Giant Eagle, our peanut butter has been tested time and time again to have the consistency of peanut butter, to have the look of peanut butter, but what we did was we gave it this special taste where it's just not that good. So that way, you get your money's worth. Our peanut butter will last on your shelves for years. So come over and get Giant Eagle's brand peanut butter spread.
Oh,
all right.
Boy.
Are you ready? Oh, you didn't edit me.
No, shit. God, it was my suggestion too. Edit.
That's it. Okay. All right, you ready for your second sponsorship?
Yes, I'm ready.
I don't think this one needs any introduction.
All right.
Snuggie.
Can you tell me what's Snuggie? Is that the fabric softener?
No. Well, maybe it is. What am I thinking of? The thing like the backwards blanket where you put your arms through it. You know what I'm talking about?
You put your arms through a blanket?
I think it's
Snuggie? Yeah, you're right. Okay.
You're stalling.
I was stalling. Okay, are you ready? All right. The Snuggie. Now introducing the Snuggie. It is this blanket where you put your arms through and then you can hug a fucking blanket. You can read a book comfortably. Actually, I don't know if we're trying to make fun of this product. It's really cool. You're just warm on the couch, but you still have mobility of your arms. And it's a pretty awesome product. If you want to call Snuggie and order one, it's 1-800. Don't be stupid. Don't call Snuggie. That's not real.
Edit?
Yeah.
It is real.
Well, I know, but don't call.
Okay. The number's not real. That'd be clutch if you had it memorized from your childhood.
That'd be crazy.
There's only 2 numbers I remember. I don't know what the first one. Steph and Snug. That's a Friday night right there. All right.
Your second product, I'm actually pretty proud of this. I was like, that's pretty clever. Okay. So you go to the store. And you know what you can't find right now? Toilet paper. You can't find it anywhere. So this product placement is for Angel Soft toilet paper.
Angel Soft toilet paper. Hey guys, we hope you're all doing very, very well, very, very safe right now during the coronavirus. What we decided to do for you guys at Angel Soft is to get your bang for your buck with Angel Soft toilet paper. This is the very first reusable toilet paper. What you do with the toilet paper is you use it, and then you put it back and use it again. And not only if you order now, it'll come with a little sticker so you know to put the top part of the roll on top, so you're not one of those heathens where you're taking the roll from the bottom. You know those people I'm talking about. Fucking heathens. So at Angel Soft, we have the first reusable toilet paper, and it comes in either dark black or brown.
Edit.
I got. Yep.
I was thinking about what it would look like.
I was imagining just a washcloth. Oh God. Please don't ever make reusable toilet paper.
No.
That's sponsorship.
Nerd notes. What you gonna do when they come for you? This segment is called Nerd Notes. Did you appreciate that? Anyway,
I did.
Okay.
When the nerd notes come for you, or when the nerds come from you?
I think when the nerds come for you,
like the candy.
When
the diabetes comes for you.
Yes,
the great nerds. Yeah.
So this Nerd Notes, we're talking a little bit about our Week 3 VIPs thing we did with him, which was Jeremy Gage, not Jason Gage, which was which was
Jeremy Gage of Roll to Forge, which is a D&D inspired tabletop podcast, which will be coming out next week.
Yes, that's going to be a great interview. I can't wait to get into that. No, I'm thankful we recorded it too. Yeah,
That's
I know
what I was
you're
getting at. I'm glad that we were able to sit down with Jeremy and record this last month before the social distancing happened. It gives us time to kind of, regroup with everything going on.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure how we were going to record an interview with someone, and you're like, oh, wait, we already did that. And I was like, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
We got really lucky.
We do have a perfect fifth, though.
Shit. Okay. Well, anyway.
Anyways, continue. Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about what we did with Jeremy. This was the first time that Tyler got to play D&D. Was it any tabletop game you've ever played? Was this the first one?
No. This was the first time I was invited to a D&D inspired... What did we play? Dungeon World?
Yes, Dungeon World. But had you played any tabletop before this?
I've played Betrayal, the haunted house.
It's just the first... So...
This is the first one where I've had to intricately create a character, and they had those type of moves and stuff like that. Because the Betrayal is a little bit further than that Walking Dead game we played.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's kind of preset already though. This is the first time you could customize a character, right?
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever played a game because Monopoly's got the banker, but this is the first game where you had a director, as he likes to be called, a DM. DM, is that right?
Yeah, Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
But I guess what did you think about it?
It was hard to get in. So here's the thing. It wasn't like I was just playing it. It was, I'm playing this on video. I'm not just playing with my buddies. I have to perform. You know what I mean? This wasn't us in a basement. It's late. We're looking for something to do. It was this is a performance. I was able to get out of my head. At the beginning, I had trouble getting into it at first. It was we're doing this character creation. And I'm looking over at the cameras. I'm like, man, are people this isn't necessarily my thing. I thought I was having fun being there in person, but while we're rambling off these things off the cuff about where our characters are from, what they wear, what they do, it's is this engaging enough for somebody to be watching through a computer screen and keep watching? So at first I was getting caught up in my head about making worrying whether or not it was entertaining enough. But then once we started getting into the story, and Jeremy absolutely killed it as a DM, as a director. He got into it. He was making us hurry with our decisions so we didn't stall and waste time. He would jump from scene to scene if we were taking too much time. He would make stuff happen in the moment, this tree breaks, or this person's slipping fall, or this person gets more hurt. And the way he would voice the characters. Your character had that bear, and when he took on the voice of the bear, or he took on the voice of the gremlin goblin things that were coming after us, he did a great job of making it very immersive, very engaging. I initially worried it wouldn't be as entertaining, and maybe the end result was that it wasn't that entertaining, but I had fun, I got into it, and I had a good time.
No, that's ultimately the point of the game. I've seen tabletops, like, I've seen a game played from, I think, the channel that he mentioned. Like, I watched one of their campaigns, and it is a little taxing to watch just someone play D&D. But
Yeah.
if the storytelling is good, like you said, Jeremy was awesome with his storytelling, it can be captivating enough where you want to watch it. I don't know if ours was. I think it was, though.
Would you watch ours from beginning to end? If we were not in it, if you didn't know the people, and if it was just people playing this game online, would you watch it beginning to end?
I might skip a little bit, but I'd probably watch it, yeah.
Okay.
But I also really like D&D. I like storytelling a lot in general. Like, that's why I got into English, because I like storytelling. I like stories.
Yeah. I think in addition to Jeremy, we should give shout outs. Matt, who we've already talked about on this podcast, he was in it with his character Willem. And the meme monster himself, you guys have heard us mention Cedric before. Cedric was there, and his character's name was Darkness Lampshadian. My character's name was El Kyrian, like Kyrie Irving. What was your character's name? Strongheart?
I don't remember.
Jonas Strongheart?
Yeah, I think so. I just made something up. I don't know.
You don't remember?
No, I don't know.
There's something strong.
I think Strongheart. I think that's right.
Yeah, but you had a first name. It was like Jonas.
It was definitely Jonas.
Okay. There will be a video of this. Is this going to be on his channel or our channel?
Both.
Both?
No, I don't think so. Maybe I think just the video is going to be on his.
Okay. Well, either way, check out Roll to Forge. There is a video, an entire video of us playing this game, and like this is mine and Cedric's. Matt's too, right?
Yeah, Matt's too.
This is our first time ever doing this type of a game. So
and
make
you
sure
guys did amazing for never doing it before. I was really impressed.
It was good chemistry. It was a good group of guys, and nobody took it too seriously. But I think we all took it seriously enough.
Willem was cold as ice. I don't want to spoil anything, but he was cold as ice.
What was the name of your bear? I don't know why. Drogo, yeah. Drogo. Yeah. Dude, I love Drogo. Dude, putting an animal in that world, that was so cool. It was definitely interesting. I think I was just too in my head about trying to make it entertaining. And then once that kind of slipped away and I was in the moment and being led the way that Jeremy was leading us, I just had a ton of fun.
How do you like the decision making with the D20s? Like, you made a decision and you had to roll to see if it happened. How do you like that?
It reminded me a lot of The Walking Dead, like when you'd roll to see how many enemies you'd kill.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my experience with it. I know that it's chance.
Yes.
It's chance. There's no but I'm a bad roller. I don't like I just am. Like it's I'm bad at it. I'm not good. I don't know if there's a trick. I don't know if there's a technique. I don't know if you can put them a certain way in your palm and bounce them off your muscles and your palm muscles. But I'm bad. I need to go to class for rolling. But you guys should never put your character's life in my hands with the die.
Yeah, because you're gonna roll it too.
You will die. You're gonna die if I have to die. That's a fact. Okay, so that's my perspective being completely new to this. You've done D&D campaigns and tabletop campaigns in your past. So how did this, obviously you're playing with a bunch of noobs.
Yes.
And you're playing with a DM that you're not familiar with.
Yeah.
What was it like for you?
Well, I didn't want to, first of all, I knew some of the rules. Well, okay. This was technically a different game than D&D. It was Dungeon World. So I think it was a little more simplified than what I was used to. And that was okay
for us simpletons,
and that's definitely okay. But I try not to step on Jeremy's feet because I was like, I wanted to be able to help you guys, but I didn't want to like explain the game to Jeremy. I know I couldn't have, but I there was an instinct to try, and I know that like Negan says, you gotta shut that shit down, and I had to. But I had a lot of fun when the DM's competent. I think that the game can be amazing. And I think that happened for us.
Good. Well, I'm glad my first campaign was good.
Yeah.
By the eyes of somebody who knows what they're doing.
It was.
Any final thoughts?
Dungeon World is a simpler game than D&D. I'd like to maybe try a campaign with you in just regular D&D because there's more options that you can kind of dive into. And I think your creative brain could have fun with that.
But you know what that would require?
For me to invite you to the game.
Yes. That is correct.
Yes, I will do that.
Imagine doing it over this, like Google Hangouts.
People do it.
Oh, God.
It'd be hard.
With lag and stuff. I roll up. Buffering.
That's funny.
Your character's life hangs in the balance of buffering. That is our Nerd Notes.
This pillar is our second week cinema, and we are talking about a movie that I initially did not want to see. We're talking about Netflix original Horse Girl. Did you hear anything about this before the movie came out?
Dude, not only did I not hear about this before the movie came out, which was 2020, I didn't hear about this movie until you texted me and said, what about Horse Girl?
Really?
Yeah, wait, why did you pick it if you didn't want to see it?
Because I know you're into spooky movies, and I heard it was really good, but I didn't... it looked scary to me from the trailer, so I was not really up my alley, but I was like, I know Tyler likes scary movies, and it's been a minute since we did a scary one, and I kind of picked the last one, so I wanted to make sure I got something up your alley.
Okay, did you know somebody that had seen it?
Yeah, I know. No, I don't know if I saw him that saw it, but I heard good things about it. Like Matt said, it was doing good things, and then I saw good articles about it too. The
trailer, listen, I would have not picked Horse Girl. That would not have been the title that I would have given this film.
No, no.
There's no way to rank that, and that has nothing to do with our rating of the film. They classify it, or it's classified as a psychological drama. But it's funny because Netflix says it's heartfelt. I don't know where it was I don't know where it was heartfelt.
I don't know where I got heartfelt.
I watched the trailer as well when you pitched it to me, and I was getting spooky vibes too, which I think is a little misleading. I think psychological drama is very accurate.
Yes.
So this is the type of movie that is very difficult to do a summary of, but I will try.
Do your best.
So it's about a woman named Sarah who works at a craft store, has a horse, loves this horse, Willow, that no longer belongs to her, and she lives in an apartment with a roommate. And due to her family history with her mother and her grandmother, she starts having hallucinations, and she starts kind of losing her grip on reality and starts expecting there to be extraterrestrial foul play. Yeah?
I think that was pretty good. I think that was pretty good.
I mean, it's not. This is not an easy movie to summarize.
No.
But if that makes it intriguing, then I did a good job. So that is the summary. So let us dive into our second week. Oh yeah, no, yep.
One more thing.
What are you doing?
We did. So this is the first time we didn't see a movie like in the same room as each other, and we used Netflix Party, which worked really well for us.
I enjoyed it because I was worried that if we did this Google Hangouts, if I was focusing on you and focusing like auditorially, auditorial. I was listening. Yeah, if I was listening to you and listening to the movie, I feel like but the chat box that they have on the right there, was cool.
It worked really well for us. I recommend.
Netflix Party. It's a Google Chrome extension.
Yeah, it's a plugin.
It only is working. I was hoping you could do it on PS4 or something, but it's only Chrome, I believe.
Right? I don't think it's only Chrome, but I think it has to be on a laptop.
That's right. You're right. I use it as a Chrome extension.
I did too.
But yeah, so that's what we used, and we chose Netflix. We both have it. We picked a new movie. It's not new to Netflix, but an old movie. This is a 2020 film. It was at Sundance, right?
It was at Sundance, yeah.
So you know what we're getting into. It's right up that A24 Uncut Gems Midsummer alley, in my opinion. So, let me do this again, because why not? We will be using the PAC scale to rate this film, and that will include PPACD, which is plot, pacing, acting, cinematography, and dialogue. And once we rate the movie based on our scores, each one is 0 to 5 for a minimum of 0, a grand total of 50, it will be ranked either as the highest level, Caviar and Dry Wine, the second level, Michael Jordan, third level, Come See Come Saw, fourth level, Not Feeling It, or the fifth and worst level, Fuck Outta Here. So with that said, let us jump into our review of Horse Girl.
Plot. Story of this movie, I think for me, it didn't work as well as I thought it could have. You gave a really good summary. I thought that was very good. I'm not sure. It was really ambiguous. And you said we're living in an ambiguous time for movies wise. And that's true, but I thought it was really vague. I wanted a couple more answers. They could have sewed up some loose ends that I thought were just too loose.
it's like it's lending itself to that type of arbitrary, or as you put it, ambiguous, where it's like, think about the ending of Midsummer. Like, we're far enough away now that I'm going to say the ending, where it's like she just kind of looks off into the camera smiling, and they're like, well, how does she feel, or what does she mean, or is she accepting them, or they... It's one of those movies that's like, well, how do you interpret it? You know what I mean? It's one of those movies. Hopefully that's not spoiling, but it's going to come down to your own personal interpretation on how reliable of a narrator Sarah is.
I think that's fair too. There's a certain point where it shifts from like, oh yeah, she's totally, oh, she's not fine. This is not fine.
Yeah, there's a couple moments. It keeps you hooked. If I can give the plot any type of credit, and that makes it sound bad, but if there's any type of credit that I can give the plot, you are hooked.
Yes, you are.
I was hooked. Yeah, you might not love the ending, but I was hooked. Here's how it kind of felt to me plot-wise. I feel like, and I told you this, I don't know if I told you this in our Netflix party chat, or maybe just talking, whatever. Like, the first act of a film is the easiest. That's when you just start setting stuff up. Like, Pixar is amazing at setting things up and then tying it together at the end. They don't go for the ambiguous. But this felt like an overly ambitious Act 1, but they bit off more than they can chew. And I apologize if I start dipping into spoiler territory, but I'm gonna name some of the things that get brought up in the first act. So there's the horses. There's her craft job. She starts seeing these creepy scratch marks around certain areas. There's this focus on drains and plumbing. She meets this oracle who tells her to make an appointment with her. She starts dating this guy, and she starts going off into the weeds with the idea of extraterrestrial aliens and cloning. And that is a ton of things to keep you very, very, very engaged in Act 1, Act 2, and even through Act 3. But I felt like they bit off more than they can chew, because there are things that are left desired.
Yes.
And the whole time, I'm excited to see how this thing comes together, how they tie things together. One thing that really bothered me, and I even mentioned it to you in the chat, it was the Chekhov thing. And I'm not saying this is the most important thing, but Chekhov says if you introduce a gun in Act 1, it has to be shot or whatever in the Act 2. And that's more of a play thing. She's introduced to this oracle who gives her this bizarre thing to burn. What is it? You said it's like a $20...
It's a $20 sage stick.
So yeah, a sage stick with a business card. And this is early on. It's like foreshadowing. She's like, here, take this. You know, I do palm readings and stuff. You should make an appointment. And she ends up burning the sage, but we never see that woman again.
Yeah, they didn't follow that storyline through.
No, and that's just a minor thing, but that sets the stage for all these other potential loose ends.
Yes.
So I think it felt like a very, very engaging, ambitious plot that it was just too big. It was too big for this movie. The ending does not match the hype, in my opinion.
I agree. There's this whole section of the end. I'm not going to give anything away, but it's just like, I text you. I was like, what is happening?
The Peach Ninja?
Yes. Yeah.
The Peach Ninja.
From like this certain point to, I think, the end, you're just like, what's going to happen? What does this mean?
Yes. But that pulls you along, but then once the credits roll, you're kind of like, oh. But I feel like there's a large amount of people that like the ambiguous endings. Like, I feel like that's kind of what we're diving into now. The indie films, the artsy films, it's like, well, how do you interpret the ending? And I feel like some people like that, and that's fine. I don't mind it, but I wish it would have been more tied together.
I agree. So I guess we're at the point. What did you score it?
Yeah, go ahead. No, what did you give it?
I gave it a 2 for the plot.
I gave it a 3.
Okay, I think that's fair.
So that is a score of 5.
Pacing.
So this movie is 103 minutes long, and I could have probably watched another 30 or 40 minutes in anticipation of a better ending. But I'm like, as much as I'm hitting the ending left something to be desired, I loved the beginning. Like, it was so ambitious, but if you give this like an Irishman length of like 4 hours, then we can start tying some of this stuff together. I I thought the pacing was excellent because for it being a long movie, I was hooked the entire way through. When it ended, I wanted more, not just because I wanted a better ending, but because I think more could have been done. The slow moments didn't take me out. They were necessary. Some of the faster moments just had a good pace where, crazy things were happening. But it's interesting because this was the first time we were in a movie theater. I had a laptop on my lap and we were chatting, but I don't know. How did you feel? For me, the pacing felt very good.
I'm starting to learn that horror movies from you take longer.
I wouldn't call it, but do you think this is a horror movie?
No, okay, but no. It's more, it scared me. There were scary moments. It didn't really scare me that much, I guess. But I thought it was a horror movie coming in, if that matters.
There was scary imagery. Like, there are these, whether or not they're real, they do show some things, and they're creepy.
Yes. My point is, I'm learning that these kinds of movies take more time on purpose. That being said, I thought the pacing for this movie was excellent. Like you said, I don't think it dragged at all. I don't think it rushed anywhere. I thought it was where it sped up, it made sense, and where it slowed down, it makes sense, but it didn't keep us there too long. There's a lot of cringe. I think that hurt the pace a little bit for me.
Those awkward scenes where you're like, oh God,
yes.
Oh God, oh God.
Yeah.
The fast forward scenes.
Yes. Yeah, the scenes where you fast forward. But I
think...
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the pacing felt good because of how unnatural the film was, because she's a completely unreliable narrator. Like, she'll open a shower curtain and then all of a sudden she's at her craft store. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When you have segues like that, transitions where, she looks at the clock, it's 11:04, then this crazy creepy thing happens outside and she goes back and she looks and it's 11:04. Like that type of a thing. I feel like the weirdness and the unreliability made the pacing that much more extreme because they didn't have to waste their time transitioning. Like, this girl's crazy. You want to be in the apartment? Boom, we're in the apartment. You want to be in the shower? Boom, we're in the shower. I think that helps. It kind of lends itself to the pacing.
I agree. I thought the pacing was really well done.
I gave it a 5 out of 5.
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. So that is a score of 9, which puts us at 14.
Acting.
So I think Sarah was actually a really good actor. She had so much to think about as an actor, but I don't think she got lost in herself. I thought she was very focused on what she was doing. And I think that made her perform very well.
Yeah.
She had a lot of crazy movements to do, but I think she executed it very well.
So the actress that played Sarah, her name is Alison Brie, and the whole time we're watching this movie and I'm listening to her talk, I'm like, who is she? Because she didn't look like, she looked familiar enough, like she could pass for somebody I recognize, but it wasn't striking. But her voice, I was listening to her voice, I'm like, who is she? Who is she? And then as soon as we were done watching it, I had to look her up. And I was like, what do I know her from? She is the character Diane in BoJack Horseman.
Oh, cool.
Have you ever watched BoJack?
Not really. I mean, I've seen the first episode twice.
Okay. So I followed it. I'm a pretty big fan. But yeah, she's Diane from BoJack Horseman. So I thought that was really cool. So there's this character I'm used to putting that voice to. So then I got to see her in a live action film. So that was pretty cool. But going back to what you said, I agree completely. It's not an ensemble cast in my opinion. Like, there's the boyfriend, there's the roommate's boyfriend, and some other random stragglers. The movie centers around Sarah, Alison Brie's character, and she does a phenomenal job. She holds your hand through this crazy, crazy, ridiculous, unnerving story, and you're just right there with her. She does a great job acting. Emotionally, she does a great job acting. Her we'll get to dialogue, but her dialogue was great. It's cool because sometimes you have her perspective where things are making sense on her end, but then she'll be in a one-on-one scene with like her therapist or her roommate, and she just seems so crazy, and you're just like, in the chat, you'd be like, oh, she's gone, or she's, But I like those. She did a really good job. She would say something crazy about the aliens and the cloning, and then you could see the doctor or whoever just slightly be like, maybe you should consider talking to someone. And But she has such a good, like, self-awareness in that moment where she's like, oh, he doesn't believe me. He doesn't get it. It's kind of like that. Like, it's not like that crazy person that doesn't realize they're crazy. Like, I think she gets to that point eventually, but there are moments leading up to that good gradual growth where she's like, oh, they think I'm crazy. This isn't somebody I can trust. Never mind. Thank you, I'm out. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I thought that was done really well.
I agree with that. I agree. She did that build for crazy really good. I didn't clock this. Stephanie told me she was watching too. She saw the roommate, I guess, is a Disney darling or something. Like she was on Disney Channel.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I thought she was.
I'm not familiar.
I'm not either. But Stephanie told me that. The rest of the cast, I thought, they weren't, like you said, it's not an ensemble role, but they supported well enough.
Yeah, the boyfriend was quirky. You know, another one of those get high scenes. I know This isn't a kid's movie, but you gotta have it. I loved the roommate's boyfriend because he was such a dick.
Yes, I know. He was great.
But, I mean, it's like they don't take away from the film. They're not there to add to it. They don't take away. And Alison Brie portraying Sarah, I think, kills it. What did you give acting?
I give it a 5.
I gave it a 4. So that is a score of 9, which puts us at 23. We are now at the bottom of Come See, Come Saw. So we moved out of fuck out of here. We moved out of not feeling it. So now we're in the middle ground.
Cinematography.
There were some cool shots. There were some cool shots. Her dream sequences are very, very creepy. I think part of it has to do with sound. There was like a sound that they would do, like in her dreams. If they're dreams, we don't know if they're dreams or not. But there was like this like scratchy, otherworldly sound that they would make when she looked around her and like these things that were in there with her. That was done really cool. There was like a really subtle moment that reminded me of Insidious early on. And I'm not going to give it away because I think it's the only time that I remember it happens. But it's like, it's a cool thing where they plant something in the background, and if you catch it, cool, and if you don't catch it, then you get surprised with the main character. Or not the main character, but a character. So that was done really well. There are some really cool shots where it's like, you got a wall in the middle of the frame, and she's over in the lightness, and then a guy's leaving in the darkness, and that's really cool. The jump shots are okay. It's not the most beautifully shot film you're ever going to see in your life. It's very indie. It's very artsy. I'll leave it at that for now. What did you think about the cinematography?
See, I really liked the jump shots because I thought they added to understanding that Sarah was not a reliable narrator. They worked to show the audience that maybe everything isn't what it appears to be. Yeah. I think they added a lot to the dialogue of not the talking, but like the dialogue between the audience and the film. And it added, like I said, it added showing that Sarah is not with it. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It also it was used for foreshadowing.
Yes.
Like the claw marks, the focusing on drains and water. They did use the shots as a good opportunity to kind of lead you down a certain trail or path. So that was done well. I'm trying to think if there's any like wide shots or anything that stuck out to me. I don't know.
I don't think they varied a lot of shots. I think it was a lot of chest up shots.
There's a cool shot where she's like, I feel like that, like when she was cutting the fabric and like there was going into clones. There was some symbolism.
There's a couple transition shots that are really cool, like going in from a scene to another scene and then it connects later.
Yeah. I love when she's like running away and she's grabbing that peach fabric and it's just like pulling across the screen. That was a pretty cool shot. Man, I feel like I'm not justifying my scoring well enough for this, and I apologize if it makes it seem like I'm just throwing out a random number. Because when I was watching it, I really did appreciate the cinematography. It's not my highest score. I don't think I don't think it could hit 5 for me because I think I'd be able to justify it more or have more to say if it was a 5. But there were a lot of really good shots. That one where you see the back of the horse, which was a very weird tie-in. Because it's one of the first, like, in the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes you see this, and then it comes at the end, and it's like, but that's another thing it bites off in this film, is it talks about time travel.
Yeah.
Time travel.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, there's just too much going on in this movie. Do you have more to say before you
No,
score?
we can score it.
Okay. I gave it a 4.
I give it a 3.
Okay. That is a score of 7, which keeps us in Come See Come Saw with a score of 30.
Dialogue.
So this movie has a lot of fun quotes. I know that's not the best way to quote to judge dialogue, but that's how we've been doing it. And I'm going to stay in that lane because there's so many fun things that get said in this movie that stick in your head. You want to say something?
I wonder if this movie has the advantage of that because we were openly writing and talking to each other during it. Like, I wonder if during some of the other movies, if we were able to write things down, if there would have been more quotes.
I was writing stuff down in the other movies on my phone. And
you're pulling your phone out in the middle of the theater?
I mean, yeah, don't shame me for it. But Jesus.
I'm shaming you. Shame on you.
It was really low. No, it wasn't like I was...
You probably completely ruined the experience for a couple moviegoers.
Oh, yeah, and Rambo, we were the only person there.
Imagine how many people that was their first experience watching a movie and you ruined it. They're probably never going to go back.
Anyway, I thought there were a lot of good lines. Maybe it does. But you know what? It took advantage of that advantage because I thought it killed it with dialogue.
Do you have some lines that are your favorite?
Yeah. I know it's pretty basic, but the boyfriend goes, "I'm a paralegal." And the one she says, like, he says it like right before the line. He goes, "We're gonna dig up your mom with a pair of scissors."
Are we gonna dig up your mom with scissors? Yes. That's my top quote. Because I didn't even think about it until then when she was freaking out. I'm like, wait a minute, she does only have scissors. Wait, she never got her results back, did she?
No, from the DNA.
And another loose end.
Yep.
Another loose end. They get someone during the high scene. They're dancing. Sarah and her soon-to-be, well, not really boyfriend, person she was talking to. I have nowhere else to put this. She watches this paranormal Purgatory show.
Purgatory.
That it's like, it's where it inspires her to go down like a crazy path. But then there's like a sex scene, and then all of a sudden she's having sex with one of the characters from that movie or that TV show. Very bizarre. But anyways, when they're getting high and dancing, the roommate's boyfriend says it looks like they're belly dancing with centaurs. I thought that was a good line. And then there was like a subtle innuendo where it seems like she's coming on to this older guy at this plumbing store, but she really just wants to get to know him for other reasons. But it seems like she's coming on to him, and he does plumbing and stuff. So he just kind of looks up at her and he's like, "Oh, you really want those pipes, huh?" And I'm just like, oh gosh. But it's one of those cringe scenes where it's like, how much did she pay him? Like $900 up front? $1,000 up front. Just put $100 bills on the thing, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, okay, tomorrow, yeah." Uh-huh. I thought, oh man, when she tells the doctor, and she's just having this conversation, she's like, "Yeah, I'm thinking of getting some tests done, blood works. Do you have a test that can see if I'm a clone?" But just that most like, it was good nonchalant.
Delivery. It was really good delivery.
And that doctor killed it. I loved that doctor. That's how I want my doctor to be, because he was so patient and kind with her.
Yeah,
it was a quotable movie. Action, in my opinion, does not. There are action scenes. There are scenes where physical activity pushes the scene along. But I would say more than anything that the movie is pushed along through narrative and dialogue. And I think if you don't consider how well they tie things together, the narrative succeeds and the dialogue very, very much succeeds.
I agree.
That's my summary of that. Yeah.
What did you score?
Oh man, I'm stuck. I wrote down a 4, but I'm leaning 5. You know what? No, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm gonna give it a 5. I'm giving the dialogue a 5.
I gave it a 5 too. It was really good.
That is a score of 10, which puts our final score for Netflix's Horse Girl at 40 out of 50, which is Michael Jordan. Ooh. Not quite the best, second best. Michael Jordan. The film was directed and produced by Jeff Baena. I don't know anything about him.
Oh, I do. That's the dude who made Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal.
He made Nightcrawler?
Yes, he did.
Is that 2014? Huh?
Oh shit! Let me double check. No, I lied. That was Velvet Buzzsaw. I watched that the other night. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Velvet Buzzsaw?
No,
Nightcrawler.
Well, I can't say it's not a good movie. I haven't seen it. I'm saying Nightcrawler is a good movie.
Nightcrawler is a killer movie. Nothing to do with what we're talking about. Ignore me.
Yeah. Yes. Any final thoughts on the film? I recommend it. Obviously, we gave it a 40 out of 50. Do you recommend it to people?
I'm glad we watched it, but I feel like you could have done like one more rewrite at the end.
Yeah, I think they went too hard on the indie artsy instead of I don't think, like, when they were in the writer room or on the table, I don't think anybody raised their hand and was like, "Do you think the viewer's going to be satisfied at the end?" Or he did and they fired him.
Yeah.
Even though he probably wasn't making any money anyway. So that is our review of Netflix's Horse Girl. So that was our second week cinema review of Horse Girl. Again, we could not go out to the movie theaters. Honestly, none of the movies that you could stream now for $20 at your home sounded too enticing. And I'm glad we did this one. It was cool. And you guys can go easily watch it. Like, go to your TV. You're probably already there. And scroll on Netflix, find Horse Girl. It's only 103 minutes. And part of that is probably including the credits.
I know you're going to listen to this when it comes out on Thursday morning, but when you get home in the evening, just go home, stream it. It's worth a Thursday night, Friday night watch. It's a... Fun is not the right word, but it's an interesting movie.
Where are they coming home from?
From, I don't know, work, I assume?
Some people, I guess, yeah. There are people. If you're a healthcare or essential, if you're an essential business person and you're working, come home and watch it. Healthily, social distantly on Netflix. But yeah, I highly recommend it. Again, I want to give shout outs. Virtual Show Akron. Please follow them on Instagram and check out our post that we did way back on Monday. And Ghost Type Alex. Make sure you go check out his YouTube channel. Check out his Outlast videos. He's on part 3 right now, so I think for a total about 2 hours. One with the grass.
One with the grass.
But it made me think of Jurassic Park in The Lost World. He's like, "Stay out of the tall grass."
Oh my god.
Stay out of the tall grass. That's what it made me think of.
I was dying.
And once you're done listening to the podcast and you're done watching Horse Girl and you're still not tired, go to Disney Plus, check out Onward again. And finally, because I'm just spreading the love, before our interview with him next week, go to Roll to Forge, number 2. Roll, the number, numeric 2, Forge. And check out Jeremy's podcast about D&D role-playing tabletop games. And that'll put you in the mood for our Week 3 VIP coming up next week.
It's a lot of fun. I am Charlie. This is Tyler. And, thanks for
subscribe.
Thanks for watching, listening, and yeah, that's right. Subscribe. Write comments in the section part with the comments, and just say, "Hey guys, good show." If you think that, or "Hey guys, I'm gonna give you 5 stars, but make a better show next time." Just something there.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a Michael Jordan. You're close, but not quite there. I like how you said thanks for watching this.
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm watching you.
Yeah, I'm watching you as well. This is great. Hey, shout out to Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts gets a caviar and dry wine.
Yeah, getting us together.
Very good.
Also, you're Rhett and Link together too.
I love Rhett and Link. I love them so much. Good Mythical More. Yeah. Your biscuits. I want to say this. I hope you guys are doing this. Charlie very cleverly and very funnily adds little bloopers to the end of every single episode. So if you ever stop listening during the outro music, you have about 42 episodes to go back and listen to the bloopers at the end, because they are always fun. So with that being said, thank you guys for listening, and this is the segue.
Best thing that happened to you on a Thursday. Okay, what number go on? 5?
No, I think it's like 3. Nah, I've done 2.
Okay, so
you're on 5. Yeah,
yes,
yeah. Please cut all that shit out.
Okay.